Hello, everybody on Tadam channel. Today, my guests are designers of Euthia. Hi, guys.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
On start, I want to congratulate you because last campaign of Euthia was a huge success. Did you expect that great result?
Thank you. Thank you so much. We didn't expect that, but we are expecting something about 1.2 or 1.4 million dollars from this campaign, but it was a great surprise for us.
How you can compare this campaign with campaign on GameFound? What was the difference with between them?
Well, the main difference is that we are offering like 6 languages. if you if you ask about this one, and the experience was that from my point of view as a creator, GameFund can offer you many possibilities to create your product and add-ons in there, and that was the main reason we created those mistakes, because we offered too many products in there, too many add-ons, and you can't do that on Kickstarter that easily. So from this point of view, GameFund has a lot of possibilities, but Kickstarter is maybe more streamlined for backers.
Okay, we can start talking about UTR right now. How you got the idea of this game?
Well, it was 2015. I was working as a financial advisor at the time, and that job is actually pretty boring. and I I wanted to create something, and I didn't have money for creating a video game because I'm a big gamer. I play a lot of video games. At that time, I played only a few board games. So I was thinking what to do, what is the possibility for me, for nobody to create something, and since I couldn't create a video game at the time, I decided to try to develop a board game from all those games I played as a child and as a teenager. So I started working on it, and during like 1 year maybe, I had a first prototype, but it was totally different, of course. So
I can imagine that.
yeah, it was not working.
And probably that was on paper and something like that with parts
Well,
of different games or something.
uh, it wasn't actually, because in 2015, it was January.
Yeah, it was January.
I ordered a 3D printer from China and built it from
the separate parts.
yeah, from separate parts, uh, because it was much cheaper to to buy the whole set of 3D printer. And I actually printed a lot of components at the time for future Euthia. uh, it wasn't called that way at first. So
Do you still have this prototype at home?
well,
somewhere.
Somewhere.
Not near, but yeah, I have it. It was a lot of plastic, but it wasn't any good, and it looked terrible because the plastic from 3D printer, it has those
Layers.
those
Yeah,
layers
plastic.
and bad colors. So it was funny. Yeah.
Can you send me a photo of this prototype when you find it
Yeah.
somewhere?
Yeah, sure.
That will be interesting, I think, to compare the first Euthia with the last print Euthia.
Yeah, sure. I will send it to you. It will be funny to look at it. Yeah.
So, Marketa, when did you join to Tadam with to create the Euthia? How it was?
Yeah. I joined him a year after he started working on it. It was in February 2016.
Yep.
And I actually quit my job because of that. And I started working on graphics and art and so on, but I wasn't experienced with it, so it was kind of terrible. But
Don't ask to send you
Yeah.
those pictures from my galleries. Or maybe she
yeah,
can show that.
I can show that.
Okay, I'm waiting for the photos. Okay.
That will be fun. Yep, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me why you choose the name Euthia? How to get this idea of this name?
That's a funny story.
Well,
Continue.
it's actually pretty easy because we had to choose this this name very fast when we came to it, because we are going to some small convention in Czech Republic with our first prototype with Markéta and with our first collaborator Michael, but we had to choose the name very fast, so we were thinking about it, and I just came up with an idea because when I played video games, I often used some nicknames for my characters, and I had two special nicknames for my characters in RPGs when I play them, and one of them was Euthia, and one of them was Daya.
Oh, okay. So right now I know why is publisher like name and why Euthia. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's from
So,
this.
what was your inspiration to create the Euthia?
Well, our inspiration was a lot of PC games, but mostly Heroes of Might and Magic, Diablo, Gothic, for example, or Baldur's Gate, and Icewind Dale Saga, of course. These games, I love these games. And a lot of other games, actually. The Elder Scrolls. I played a lot of them, mostly Morrowind. I started with Morrowind, actually, but there's so many more. But
yeah, but in my opinion, when I first saw the Euthia, I thought, okay, you take the idea from Heroes of Might and Magic and for Diablo, because I saw a lot of things which one I can compare with.
Yep.
Games. Is this true?
Yeah, it's true. We got this inventory, right, and items with gems and from Diablo, yeah, and a lot of stuff on the map is actually from Heroes of Might and Magic. Yeah, a lot of ideas.
Yeah, you can. I can see it with, for example, chests or little things on the map, hex on the map.
Yep, exactly.
How you create the mechanics in Euthia? For example, how you get the idea of a fight with the monsters in Euthia?
Well, it was a long journey. But when we had prototype and we were testing it with people, we tried to create some competitive mechanic that will motivate you to not only be the best hero, but to be able to be able to interact with other players. And the interaction in a competitive game, it's really hard to create, because when you have an open world map, you can go anywhere. And it mostly the most or the main problem with open world map is that one player can go south and other player can go north, and they will not meet each other anytime soon. So we got this idea that they could control the monsters and interact with each other this way. So that was the main thing, I guess.
But how you get this idea with the cards? Which one
Oh, with the cards.
give a superpower to monsters?
Well, it was just an idea because I wanted to create some possibility to enhance these monster stats and make them stronger during the fight, and make each fight different with these cards. So we tried a lot of combinations with number of effects on the cards and number of cards you can have in your hand and so on. But we had to limit it a lot. We have to limit your possibility to gain those cards on the map and gain those cards from monsters and so on. But the idea was we tried just a simple effect on one card, and after that we figured that those cards will be always the same. So we put another effect with two cards when you have two similar cards. So maybe it was this process.
Okay, tell me, because we can fight with the monsters in Euthia, why you didn't make version to fight with your opponents?
We tried it actually. We tried PvP, as you can call it in video games, but when you attack the other hero, you only one thing will happen. You will just lose time. Both heroes will lose time in the game, and one is the winner and one is the loser. And the losing hero will be in great disadvantage, and the winner would be in great advantage in Euthia. So we couldn't make that possible to fight heroes.
Yeah, because a lot of people ask me why it's not, because normally in games you have a PvP, and
Yep.
A lot of players thinks, okay, I can kill him, and so the strategy is I will take everything what I can, and then I will go to kill somebody.
Yeah. Well, I had an idea about how to make it work in Euthia, but we would have to create some arena, and players would have to go to that arena to fight each other. But it's not possible to make it like anytime they want. Like anytime I will just kill somebody and
Yeah,
send
but
him to church.
maybe that will be a good idea to give their huge bonus or special equipment when somebody will win on this arena. Maybe it's a good way.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe in the future we can see that.
Yeah, I can imagine right now a whole shelf for Euthia only. These huge boxes.
Yep, a lot of boxes.
Yeah, a lot. Tell me, how did you get the idea with abilities in Euthia? Because all of characters has unique abilities and a lot of different way you can choose during make your character more stronger. How you get this idea of that?
Yeah, well, we started with like three abilities for each hero, and they had it printed on their board,
Board, yeah.
and there are only three, and uh, it seems to us that it's so little, so we decided to create more of them at first, and we created like 10 of them, but every time you played,
it would be the same.
you had the same abilities. So we decided to put two abilities for each level, and that was it. But from the start, I had this goal for Euthia to create each character different, with different play styles. So we tried it, and I think we succeeded.
Yeah, true. Every character is a different, and yeah, different strategy you have to have when you play this character. So yeah, that was a great job.
Thanks.
Uh, Tell me, what was the most difficult during the creative process?
Ooh, what do you think?
But there are so many things.
Rule book, maybe.
Yeah, like the rule book.
Everybody told me that the rule book was the most difficult, but what a different thing.
Well, from design point of view, I think that to create
The action system.
an action, well, the action system was an idea when I slept already. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he went to sleep and suddenly he woke up and had this idea about the action system. And
Yeah, because it didn't work so long, and I didn't know what to do with it, because we had like the fight action, trade action, mining action, and some movement, but we didn't know how to figure that out, and how to limit the possibilities that heroes can do during their turn. And yeah, I had this idea to create those three actions when I was asleep, actually. So somewhere in there, but for the toughest thing in design, I think that it was the balance out those characters, because each character has about 20 plus abilities, and we had to play test each character with each scenario, with different setup, and
different opponents.
yeah, different opponents, different strategies, and it was really tough to balance it out. So it was most difficult, I think. Yeah.
And what about the last fight with the dragon? That was the easy to
Oh
think how to solve it.
no, there are a lot of iterations with it, because uh, when we released the Czech version of Euthia, because
The first one,
the
yeah.
first one, it was called Legendy Země Euthie. We had everything different, and players could play just one scenario and save it along the way, because I wanted to create some save system in the game. So you could actually start from round 10, for example, after you killed the first dragon, and continue your journey to the second dragon. But this system was really difficult to explain to players and difficult to set up, and so we created totally different scenarios. So we had to change those dragon fights, and we changed it like 20 times before we created Faruga. Because we had this problem that it was too easy, it was too hard, or the players feel that they
don't have to kill the dragon.
Yeah, don't have to kill the dragon, or it's better for them to not damage it, because other players will gain more points, and so on. So it was tough.
Tell me, because in the last campaign on the Kickstarter, you proposed few expansions to Euthia.
Yep.
What the expansions can change in the game?
Yeah, it's a good question. You started with the Faruga scenario, or defending the settlements, because we actually were trying to change those scenarios and your experience through them, because in the base game you can play 8 different scenarios with elementals. There are 3 more,
yeah.
But those epic scenarios are with those dragons. They are, I think, not so epic during the game, because defending the settlement, for example, you are just preparing for the dragon for like 12 rounds, right? Yeah. And after that, you are fighting with Faruga for 2 rounds. But in Fierce Powers, and with those 2 expansions we are preparing, we created those scenarios that when you are playing, you are actually feeling the scenario throughout the whole game. So, for example, the Rise of the Soul Reaper scenario with the Necromancer, he has his towers, and you have to interact with them from the second round, I would tell. And you have to kill his minions, destroy his towers during the game, and after that you will try to finish him off in his fortress. So and we are approaching these scenarios, these new scenarios, with this mindset that we are trying to create different feeling from those scenarios, more to take the story from that scenario and put it out there throughout the whole game.
So you made from Euthia a little video game. Because of this scenario, you can feel like a video game. I think so.
Yep. Yep. We are trying that, yeah.
So what was your inspiration to create something like that?
Well, it's it's hard to say because I played so many video games, so I'm always like sitting there playing the same scenario and thinking, I would like to create another one. And it should be different, and I would change this and I would change that. So let's try to make something new. And mm, I I always, when I'm designing, I always just take my first idea of anything. Let's say, let's put necromancer in there somewhere.
Yeah,
And
finally you put my favorite character to the game.
yeah,
Because
really.
always when I play, for example, World of Warcraft or
Uh-huh.
Lineage, I like to play like a necromancer. So I'm happy that you do
Great.
that.
I like necromancers also, but I played most necromancers I played, it was in Diablo too. But yeah, so I would just bring something new to the game and create the scenario around it, or some mechanics around it. So I'm mostly starting with some character or some backside story I will create and so on. Yeah.
Tell me, because in core game we haven't a lot of miniatures.
Yep.
But in expansion you give to bakers much more of them. Why you go this way?
Yeah, well, at first we didn't plan it, but then we created this scenario with the necromancer, and we created those towers
And the minions.
and the minions.
Yeah.
And we wanted to create a different character as a hero, and we created Eltra, but I wanted to put her some familiars as a different mechanic to the game, and it would be shame to not have those miniatures of familiars when you are moving them on the map during the game. So there is 6 miniatures for Elthra. And there was this scenario with the necromancer, and we needed like 3 minions of each, and there were 3 minions. So we had necromancer and like 9 minions already. So or 12?
Yeah, it's 12.
Sorry, 12.
It's 4 per each.
4 per each. So it started like this. We had those new ideas about scenarios and characters, and yeah.
So these miniatures will be similar huge that the characters miniatures, or smaller?
Some of them, yes, but for example, Necromancer has 3 minions, and those flying skulls are pretty small, really small, I think. But those butchers, rotting butchers, are pretty big. So it differs. Each miniature is different size.
Because I heard opinion from the bakers that because of the miniatures, a lot of miniatures in the expansions, they can it can be hard to see what is exactly on the board.
Yeah, well, it could be. So we also have standees, but it's actually it depends. It's a point of view, because in most of the scenarios you will not use so many miniatures, but you will use like half of them in one scenario, a third of them in another one, and so on. So only the one scenario that will be swamped with miniatures is actually the main necromancer scenario, the Rise of the Soul Reaper. So this scenario is, and we showed that scenario in one playthrough, I think.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of miniatures, but in other scenarios there will be only a few. So it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
I hope.
Tell me, because during the campaign you give to bakers two new characters: is the Necromancer and the Euthia. What will be difference between these two characters and the rest of characters in Euthia?
Oh, the main difference is that Euthia has those familiars, and she will use them to help her on the map. For example, she can use her hawk to fly to some elemental on the map, and she can use that elemental power for her advantage. For example, if you fly to the water elemental with a hawk, she can heal for twice per round if she has two orders with her abilities. But for example, with the Necromancer, the Necromancer is using his minions like an armor and the attacking force. So I took that from Diablo actually, because when you play Diablo, you have a lot of minions around you, and it will be the same with Necromancer. You can summon up to 3 minions, one from each, and they will have their health, and when you attack the Necromancer, you first have to kill those minions as a monster to get to him, and those minions can attack those monsters for you as a hero. So
the Necromancer will be not an overpowered?
Well, we are testing it. And at the moment, he's a bit overpowered. Yeah, but we will make it right.
It's not that big difference.
It's not a big
No,
difference.
no, no.
Marquette actually played Necromancer yesterday.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. We play tested it yesterday.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
That's good.
So it will be good.
Yeah,
you will
for
make
sure.
the balance with.
Yeah, the balance will be
sure.
there because it has to be. I couldn't live with it to be unbalanced.
Yeah, because of video games, a lot of times when they put some new characters, it's on start it's overpowered and they have nerfed this character. So I'm a little scared that in the Necromancer can be same.
Yeah, well, but we will
right now, because when you said that he can make so yeah, it can be hard to kill Necromancer.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's not impossible. But I'm sure that we will make those changes to make him a bit weaker and balanced for other characters, because the Necromancer has some basic abilities for the core game to play him with other heroes, but in expansion, when you have this fierce powers expansion, you will have 6 more abilities for each hero, and also for the necromancer. And those 6 abilities makes all heroes a bit stronger.
Okay, good to hear that.
Yep.
Tell me, what is the difference between Euthia and other board games similar to Euthia? What make the Euthia special game? In your opinion, of course.
Well, from my point of view, the main difference in Euthia, and it was very important for me to make it this way. It's the open world map, because when I play a lot of board games at the moment, of course, I'm playing a lot of it. But when I play some board game, most of the time the map is the same. You have one board, and every time you put the game on the table, the board is very similar or exactly the same. So in Euthia, I aimed for this. Every time you play the game, the map is changing. The map will be different, and with each scenario, you will take other tiles. And with this expansion, for example, we will put more tiles in there, so it will be a different experience again. So I think that a lot of games have it at the moment, what Euthia has, but I think that this is for me the main specialty with Euthia. What do you think?
Marketa, do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. Because the map is. I didn't see anything like that before. Now the games have it, like you said.
Yep.
Some of them, but it still doesn't work like the one in Euthia. It's always different. it's really interesting. I still don't get it how you made it, but
it was a long journey.
Yeah, I know.
So, how long did you work on Euthia?
Well, it was from 2015, so at first we worked on it about 2 or 3 years before we created the first Euthia that we published in Czech Republic, and we printed about 700 copies only in Czech, of course. But after that, we developed it even more, another 2 years before we launched the Kickstarter, right?
Yeah. 2 or 3 years more.
So 5 years in total.
So, how long you tested this game?
Well, those 5 years.
Those 5 years.
Yeah, we were testing all the time.
Yeah, but the final product, I would say, we were testing it like 1 year before the campaign and another year after the campaign, because we had to finalize it and make it work.
Because of this test that you get probably a lot of feedback. Did you change something in the core game because of tests, or not really?
We changed everything. It was a lot of testing and a lot of changes, because a lot of people had a lot of different ideas about how they want to play it and how they want to see Euthia on the table. And actually we got a lot of feedback from Aladx, who is the third member of our team, because he started working with us sometime during the first Kickstarter, and he gave us so good feedback on Euthia and on gameplay and on encounters, for example, and everything. Because Aladix is really experienced board game gamer, and he is playing board games for 20 years, maybe more. So he gave us a lot of useful feedbacks on this.
Tell me, between the first version of Euthia, which one you made in 2020 or something like that, the first campaign.
Yeah.
Between this version of Euthia, I asked about the core game. Did you change something? Or it will be same?
I think it will be mostly the same. Only a few mistakes in the rule book, and a few small tweaks and iterations. For example, I can say we had one mistake on the map tile, on encounter map tile with Weaponsmith, Weaponsmith, because there is a hex with 2 potions and a monster.
And 1 silver card.
And 1 silver card, and there should be 2 gold coins there
as
also.
Well. Yeah.
But when we created the map, somehow the layer with 2 coins got
disappeared.
It disappeared somewhere. So this is the one mistake that I don't think that most players ever notice it, but
I don't think so.
Yeah. And another thing is that we will change. A small change will be in the rule book with Skoldur, because his character has his dwarf die, and every time you use a dwarf, you have to add 1 point to the dwarf die, and we actually figured that it's a bit annoying. Sometimes in some situations, Skoldur is pretty hard to play, so we will be changing that. That only once you use the dwarf for +3 or -3, or use it on some abilities, you will have to
Change the die.
increase the number. But when you use it to empower the weapon or a shield, you will not add to the word die. So it will be a small change, small rule change, but it will make Skoldur a bit easier to play. So those were actually 2 main things.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
Okay. Do you have in your mind more expansions to Euthia, or this is the final version and you will not add anything more to this game?
Well, at the moment, I don't have more ideas what to put there, but I think in the time, when the time is right, and if we see that there is a possibility to launch maybe another campaign in the future with Steamforge games, we could maybe create some more, but I think at the moment and for a few more years we will be done with it.
Yeah, because I saw that people love this game.
Yeah.
A lot of bakers for the last campaign told me that it's a really great game. So if you will make more expansions, I think they will buy it. So
Yeah, thank you. It's great to hear that. But well, let's see. Let's see where we can get Euthia, because at the moment we have a great score on Board Game Geek. We have 8.8 maybe, something about
something
it.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, we are not in the first 1,000 best games on Board Game Week. So maybe when we deliver, or Steam 4G Games will deliver the new Euthia with expansions, maybe we can hit this achievement and get to the 1,000 best games. And after that, well, let's see.
But when you will make more expansions to Euthia, I think you can give bakers a special shelf or regal to keep this game.
Yeah, we should probably do that. We were also joking about the table that we will sell a big table with Euthia in the next Kickstarter, maybe.
Yeah, we will make a collaboration with IKEA.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can think about that, or you can tell the bakers what kind of table they have to buy because of the size of this game.
Yeah. A lot of people ask that during the campaign in comments. So we actually advise backers to with some sizes of tables. Yeah.
Okay, so what is the proposal size of table for Euthia?
Well, I would suggest that something about 180 centimeters and about 80 to 100 centimeters to other side. Yeah.
Okay, so my table is good. Okay. Good to hear that.
That's great to hear. So it's because we are using this size of table for Euthia playtesting, so it should be fine for everybody.
But even a smaller one is fine.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
you can if you can play it with less players in a smaller tables, but with 4 players, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people said that the 4 players for Euthia is too much because of the time which one it will take to play the Euthia.
Yeah, exactly. We are not playing Euthia with 4 players too much. It takes a lot of time, but I also have a lot of friends in Czech Republic that are always telling me that they are not playing Euthia with smaller number than 4. And I'm always like, why?
Yeah,
Why are you doing it to yourself?
Yeah, and they also ask if we could make it possible for 5 players.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. In Czech Republic, there are some crazy people. But they are also asking us to create more epic scenarios like Brassat, for example, Vanishing Brassat. So it's the longest scenario in Euthia, and I heard a lot of people asking me, just create more of those long scenarios. We want to play the game whole weekend. I don't get it, but we are not planning to create those long scenarios.
This is a good question. Do you plan to give more scenarios to Euthia? Expect of the campaign and everything's only published on Steam 4G Games site or something like that?
Yep. Well, not at the moment, but maybe in the future we could actually create some small expansions to give players just those new scenarios, some new stories to discover, and maybe something smaller in the future. Would be nice.
About that I ask because the scenarios are limited in the core game and
Yep.
the expansions,
Yep.
and it's not, I think, big deal to create something more to that.
Yeah, well, it's
It
hard.
depends.
It depends
Yeah.
what's your expectation from those scenarios, because for example, when we are creating new scenarios, we always want to create some new feeling for the players, some new mechanics, or something interesting to give to players some reason to play this scenario or try the new ones. So it's a lot of work to create this new feeling in new scenarios. But we could also make some similar scenarios in the future.
Tell me why you choose the Steamforge games. Did you have a proposition for another publisher, or that was only Steamforge games? How it was?
Yeah, well, we had about four proposals from different studios, but the main reason we choose Steamforge games because those other proposals we had, they only want to buy Euthia as a project, and additionally, Steamforge games offered us to work with them on other games or some other games for them, or even they will also think about our offer with another prototype we have at the moment. So it was very important for us to stay alive as a development team, as a studio. So we didn't just want to sell Euthia and save Euthia, but we also wanted to save the team, because I think we have the core team we have, those 5 people. We are a great team of designers. So it would be a shame to just throw our experience together away and stop working on everything.
Tell me, because you said almost that you have new prototype.
Yeah.
What it is?
Well, it is a prototype from Thomas, our team member, and it's a game about exploration, space exploration, about searching for extraterrestrial life in the space. And in this prototype, you will be playing as a corporation who is searching for this extraterrestrial life, and you will be taking missions to fly to our solar system to bring samples from other planets in our solar system, and you will be also using a telescope to search the sky and try to uncover those extraterrestrial life. It's Eurogame.
I can imagine that. I want to ask about that, but
Yeah.
when you said about this game, I think, okay, that will be Euro game.
Yeah. Because Thomas loves Euro games, and Euthia is pretty close to Euro style game from some point of view.
Some points, yeah.
So when we are playtesting it with Thomas, he always plays it as Euro game. He doesn't care about heroes and he's just collecting points.
Yeah.
So it's funny for me to experience that because we when we were developing Euthia with Marketa mostly, we never played it as Euro game. But with Thomas, it's always like, I can get 2 points from here and 2 points from here, and I can win the game.
I can imagine that I will do that, I will collect this.
Yep, he's always counting his tokens on the map, like all the time.
So tell me, it will be similar huge game like Euthia, I mean a box, or
No. Certainly it will not. I don't think that we will put many miniatures in there. We are thinking about not putting any miniatures inside, but
plastic is always good.
yeah, it is good. At first, with Euthia, we didn't plan miniatures at all, but we got a lot of feedback from players, of course.
Yeah.
That we have to create them. So it was a great challenge. So with Tessie, we have this name for our new game. It's Tessie, Echoes of Universe. But with this game, I don't think there will be a lot of miniatures, and the box will be normal, normal size. And
what will be normal with comparing the Euthia? So
yeah, in our universe, it's still a big game, but it's much smaller than Euthia. It has a smaller number of components, but it will be a big game as well.
So when we will hear more about this game?
Well, it depends. It depends whether Steamforge game will like this game, because we as a studio, as Dia Games, we will not be doing crowdfunding anymore. So we are closely connected with Steamforge games now. So I hope that in the upcoming months we will show them the prototype and they will like it.
But the prototype is already done, or you still work on it?
We are making small tweaks at the moment, but nothing major. The main mechanics and the game itself, it works. It's finished.
Okay, good to hear that. Tell me, because in 2 months will be big board game event in Essen. Do you plan to go there with Euthia or even your new prototype?
No. At the moment, we are not in a position to make it in time because we don't have any boxes of Euthia.
I know that.
Yeah, so that's a shame. So to go there, to go to Essen, maybe next year we will go there with some boxes of Euthia, maybe with another prototype, maybe, but not this year. No.
Okay, so I think that will be the hardest question. What is your favorite board game?
It's not that hard. But I will have to think about the name of this game because I know it I know it in Czech.
What's this?
The first the first favorite game of mine was Terra Mystica. Actually, it's a great game.
Yeah, we played it a lot.
Yeah, we played it like 100 times.
Yeah.
It's really great because I love that there is a lot of nature and you have those character sheets, they are different and so on. I like this with board games. What about you?
Yeah, boy.
And I will look the second one.
I like a lot of games, but at the moment I think I like the most Brass Birmingham
Ah,
Oh.
because
bro.
I always win.
Yeah,
It's great.
Eurogame, huh?
yeah. Marketa is. We played it like 5 times already.
Four or five times.
Four or five times. The Brass Birmingham, and she every time I lost. So I don't know how to play this game.
Yeah, and
She's too good.
it's I don't think so. But it's pretty odd because I always lose with him.
In
But
other
this-
games.
But with this game, I win.
You know, I have same with my wife. For example, in underwater cities, I can win all the time.
Really?
But when we play the Azul, I lose all the time. So you know.
Yeah, Marketa is the same with Azul. Yeah,
I love Azul.
yeah, we love Azul also.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I will lose with her in Azul also. Yeah, so it's funny. Another game I love is Outlive. If you know it. It's a survival style board
Euro
game.
game, of course.
Euro game, of course. I like Euro games.
I too.
And what about you? What is your favorite at the moment?
My favorite?
Yeah, your favorite.
Hard question. I really like play underwater cities
Yeah.
with expansion. It's really great game for me. I really like Brass Birmingham.
Yeah, it's a great game. Yeah.
Yes, it's one of my favorite.
Yep.
And yeah, right now I played a lot of Euthia. So
Oh.
That's good. I like to hear that.
yeah, sorry, it's one of best game in my shelf right now. So
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
next question: what was your first game? First board game?
First board game was
Settlers of Catan.
Settlers of Catan.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a great game, but I can't play it anymore because
Everybody hates you
yeah, everybody hates me.
when we play it. So
I always win, of course.
I can imagine that. That's why they want to play with you anymore with that.
Yeah, it's strategy game, but I also always trick some players to sell me some supplies. So after that, they hate me.
My first game was what was the English English name?
Yeah, it's always hard to.
Yeah, because I know Polish name of this game.
Yeah, just look it up. So.
Remember? Wait a second.
Yeah, I had to look it up the Outlive also because we.
I know this.
Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to Ride.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was my first board game.
Yep. That's nice.
Yeah, it was a really easy game. So always, I think always people start with easy games. Next, more harder. Yeah. For example, right now I sometimes put Bitoku on table. So
Yep.
I think that was the most hard game which one I have already at home.
What do
Bitoku.
Bitoku?
It's a Euro game. You
I
can
don't
check
know it. So I better play it one day, right?
Yeah. And you asked about my favorite games. My favorite game is Nemesis.
Nemesis.
Yeah.
I never played it, but
You have to.
yeah, I should because a lot of people are saying that the game is great.
Yeah, really, really great.
And I like
really
Alien
difficult
versus Predator.
because
So.
always it's hard to win in Nemesis because all the time you can die, you can the ship can explode, or something like that. So sometimes I really close to win, but for example, ship was destroyed, and that's all.
Yeah. It's a hard game, yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard game, but I like this kind of games because easy games are not that fun.
Yep, it's not for us. At least for me, I need to play harder games because I get bored when the game is so easy.
I remembered another game.
Really?
Ruins of Arnak.
Yeah, Ruins of Arnak.
True. Yeah.
It's also a really good game. We don't play it as much now, but
it's a funny story because I have this game on my shelf, but I never played it.
Really?
Really?
You didn't?
You have to.
Yeah, you should. You should try it. We played it like 10 times straight right after we get it.
When you try to make a review of board games, your time is really, really short.
Yeah, you have a limited time, right?
It's too much of good games right now to play all of them. So
yeah, the board game industry just exploded those
true.
5 years. Yeah.
When I start with review board games, nobody told me that these games can clone that fast. Right now I haven't place for them.
Yep, that's true. But at least you have a lot of games to try and a lot of games to play in the future, so you don't have to worry about not having the game to play or to review. It's good.
That's true, but I have to be worried about place for these games.
Yeah.
For example, rent a second house only for board games or something like that.
You should better think about that in the future, right? How many board games are you having at this point?
Right now, I think more than 200.
That's not that horrible.
No, but one room I have only for games. So
yeah. We have only small number of games because we are only keeping those games we are playing. So only the best one. So we have about like 30 or 40 maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have a Euthia?
Well,
yeah.
At this moment, we have one copy that we used for photo shooting and video making, but our copy that we had, like the new one from the last Kickstarter, we had to turn it apart for parts for backers because we had a lot of replacements we need to make to backers after the delivery. So we have only one copy now.
Unbelievable. Designers of Euthia has only one copy of game.
Yep.
I think it's enough.
Yeah, it's enough.
It's a huge game, so.
Okay, thank you guys for your time.
Yeah.
I hope soon we will hear more about your new project.
yeah, I'm looking forward to give you and backers more information about the expansion.
I'm waiting for that. Okay. So thank you for your time and have a good time. And I hope you will make more great games like Euthia in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It
I
was
wish you that.
Yeah, thank you. It was a nice chatting with you, and maybe in the future we can chat again.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be pleasure.
Yeah. Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.